Good morning, everybody, and look what we have for you. I cannot believe it. We have Karula with Yambilu Jordaan and her 2 cubs. I am absolutely amazed. Pretty good.
No, you kid.
You, me?
No,
Who's gonna say? Yeah, we're gonna have to move so we can actually. Huh? Something we'll be able to see. But welcome everybody. I don't know if you've just joined us. My name's Tara, Becky's on camera, and this is incredible. Karula, our resident female leopard, with her 2 cubs, with their father. They've just been playing around. I actually hoped he was going to come with them. He looks like he's still sleeping on, well not sleeping, but lying down on Gallego shortcrest.
you say good.
I'm amazed. They were playing around him. Yeah, they were actually playing around him. Morning, morning, good morning. Good, thanks. I want to split myself in 2 and actually stay with Yambilu as well as he was ruining the cubs. Oh, she's in the tree, look. Around. Can you see? If I can get looking around here. Wow. Standing by. A weekend. Wow, it's incredible. Hi Carol, good morning to you and welcome on board in this amazing sighting. Wanting to know how old Karula or when Karula will next have cubs, I believe. And I'm actually amazed that Yambilu has been looking already, and he was definitely testing her urine to see if she is ready to mate, but surely it will be another 6 months or so before these cubs are independent enough, maybe even 2 years. Nisha and Duna were actually just coming up for 2 years when they were becoming independent, and Karula actually called for them for 2-3 hours solidly and they didn't respond. Maybe we need to move. She's just looking back towards Yambilu, it looks like it. I'm just hoping that there's not any other vehicles out, so I'll spend a bit more time here in the sighting. Oh, there's a little girl somewhere around there. Oh, there she is. She's over there. I don't know, she might be heading back towards Yambilu. She's actually heading that way. She went. Oh, there they are. Are you gonna go? Oh, shit. This is where Yambilu was. Oh, is he up there? There we go, 4 leopards together. There goes Karula, she's going after the daycare. She's gone. I'm going to pull forward again. So we have Karula, the cubs, Xivindzi, the little girl, who now didn't have a name yet, and Yambilu Jordaan, who's actually moving over there. He is following him. Yeah, the little female started chasing after Karula. The little male is who you can see on your screen now. We were wanting to call him Shava, which means shy, but other guides didn't really like that. So we're waiting to see if they come up with another name. But Yambilu is actually just to the right of him. I don't know if did you see him?
I can't get.
Oh, you can't get him. Let me just pull forward just slightly. Oh, there's a little female. So the little female's called Xivindzi, which means bold. And you can see she started chasing after Karula when she saw Karula actually running after the Deka. But she's disappeared over the way there. So we have the mother of the cubs and the father here in the sighting. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't get this. And the little boy is actually following his father. Unfortunately, she's actually covered quite a lot of ground already. I wonder if she's going to start following Yambilu now. Looks like it. Yeah, she's going to go to Yambilu. Squeeze in next to Texan here, so you're not getting in the way of where she is. Still see him? Oh, there he is. Moving. Can you get into that gap there? She's just behind you there. Oh, she gone. Oh, she's already moved. Yeah, she was just crossing behind you. I think she's already moved. As well, when you're over that side. They've actually disappeared over that way. Thinking. Yambilu's on a great number of vehicles, so I'm gonna just pull back and just see if we can see the ring again. Because for him to actually not have run off with 3 vehicles around here, I'm actually quite amazed. That's why I'm kind of keeping my distance from him, just so we don't put pressure on him. Because the last thing we want him to do is run, especially with the cubs following him. There she is. Oh, it doesn't look like she was successful. Shame, little girl. Or is she going to go that way? Where are you going, Karula? Are you going to come this way? I was hoping she was actually going to go through there. Yeah, so she's going to come this way because they've headed off that way. Karula is definitely just checking out any possibility of food this morning. Just change. Hi Deb, good morning to you. I'm saying you've never seen as much interaction from the cubs. Usually they're on their own, and what's the reason for it? And we actually, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to call the female Xivindzi, or bold, because she does seem to have a nature about her that she goes wandering much further afield than, oh, she's calling me. Go pull around there again. Come out, lady. She might just pop out this side. Yeah, she's calling the cubs. Pull back a little bit more. Yeah, the little female actually leaves the cubs, because she'll leave the cubs to go and forage for food and hunt. So they get left to their own devices. The female, we've actually lost sight of her a couple of times, or a few times. We find the male and maybe not the female. She's going to go ring a roses around this bush, isn't she? Where are you going, Karula? Amazing, she still went after that Dacre even though the Dacre had seen them. She really is looking for something to eat. She's just amongst the bushes there. And I think that's why we have just seen the cubs apart, because she just seems to be quite bold and checking out her environment and say wandering maybe 500 meters or so from where Karula left her. Whereas the boy seems to be a little bit more of a mummy's boy. He seems to stick fairly close to where she leaves them. I wonder if we're going to get a call in. I might need to call a bit louder, Karula. Hi Christine, welcome on board this morning. Wanting to know how you tell the difference between cheetah and leopard. A cheetah are a lot more of a slender cat than leopard are. Leopard are quite small and stocky. And the legs quite tall, so a cheetah would be able to peer over this grass pretty easily, but you can see how low Karula is. Come on, Karula, cool now. There we go. The vehicles have stopped moving. See, this was actually where she last saw them. It's getting louder now. Okay, I'm going to move while she's stopped calling. Sorry, Becky. So just while she's being silent. But you might be able to see from here the rosettes on the body of the leopard, so they're actually circles of black rather than full black spots like on the cheetah. And when she turns to face us, hopefully she will again, and you'll notice just spots on her face, whereas the cheetah have black tear marks running down from the eye down the nose, and those black tear marks. And the leopard lack them.
Yours, Morris.
You standing by?
You got mom again.
Affirmative, she's collaring for the lump implants. You can hear a very soft ow, possibly, I'm not sure if you can. Because obviously she doesn't want to alert other animals in the area that there's small cubs around, especially lions and maybe other male leopards. So she'll first start with a soft call, and then she'll start going into a louder call, and that's what she was doing just before. So Daddy was babysitting while she was trying to go and get food. Franklin's
Okay.
Are you still with the monthly plans?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Karula's making her way that side.
Thank you.
I'm gonna stay with her. Is Yambilu still with them?
What's that, brother?
Yambilu Jordaan still with them.
Jordaan,
Thank you. They're still with the father. Standing by.
I just want to clarify, can you confirm whereabouts is that lock?
Gallego shortcut just west of Gallego shortcut.
I can copy the number there.
Negative.
Okay, copy. I still haven't left my lot, but please keep me updated. I'm very keen on that process.
Will do. Well, the possibility of eating. I think he was possibly checking to see if Karula is in heat. And I think her daughter, I wouldn't be surprised if her daughter leaves fairly early. They can be independent around a year old, although usually it's about 18 months, maybe 2 years even. Because she's watching her hyena very closely. There's an Mbisi coming in, Graham, towards where you are now, and Karula's not too far away now. She's taking a risk calling them, actually, with the hyena being so close. I think she's actually following the scent trail as well, quite possibly. You see, she keeps putting her nose down. Especially with Yambilu actually doing the phlegm and grimace, and what he's doing is he's exposing... Oh, hyena's walking straight towards her. Flat, so hyena can't see her. Can tell she's played that game before. I see movement just beyond. She's actually looking straight at them. I think the cubs are on the way. Cub, are you walking towards the hyena? I just saw movement just underneath the log. The hyena's actually moved away now. It's up in the crib. On the, about 2 o'clock. Let's move. So yes, so he pulls his lips back, so almost like he's grinning. That's why they call it the phlegm and grimace. And he's actually exposing those receptor cells, which will be able to determine whether she's in estrus or not. There! Well done, Karula. Actually, we're probably better off back here, aren't we? Otherwise we're going to have a tree in the way. Using the tree as a lookout point as well. Okay. Try to see who's in the tree. I won't be surprised if it's her daughter. Excuse me. Thank you. Ah, here comes the male. There's actually quite a big size difference between the two now. Just at the base of the tree. He keeps looking over at behind us. I wonder if Yambilu is still around. Station still 3 Ingwe, just west of the Lego shortcut, 2 stations on the lock. Now I believe the cubs were probably born about mid-November. Because we actually had the privilege of seeing Karula mating with Yambilu Jordaan, her mate of choice. And she was also seen mating with him with her second litter, Mishu and Induna. She was actually... But she seems to have chosen Yambilu. Although there's still a big question mark over who was the father of the first litter. Apparently there was a mating scene with Muflifinyan, her father, when she was fairly young.
Pick up lanes near driveway. Next exit, they started their lullaby.
And there definitely is a considerable size difference between the little male and Xivindzi. You can definitely see that size difference coming through quite nicely now. They're about 10 months old. But even when they're cubs, there's just a slight difference. I'll say when they were cubs. When they were smaller cubs, they're still cubs. Hi Jennifer, good morning to you, hope you're well. And noticing one of the cubs looks like the belly is full, and Karula's looking a little bit lean, and would she forego her meal for the cubs? It's possible that the cub might have eaten something while she's been out trying to hunt. So it's quite possible that they actually caught their own meal, and that could be why Karula is looking a little bit lean and they're not. But I think it will depend. So I'm just going to take this. Standing by? Very much so, and still 2 stations in the lock. Okay, copy. So I think it will depend on how hungry she is, because we have seen the cubs actually starting to feed before she does. But possibly if she's still very hungry, then she might actually allow them to feed with her. I see a hyena in the distance. Hyena's coming in. Cubs, you gotta be careful. And certainly as they get older, I think she's going to become possibly a little more not aggressive, but maybe a little bit more assertive if she is hungry, that she'll need to eat her fill and then go and go off and hunt again and leave the cubs with the rest of the carcass. I think it will depend on how big it is. I mean, if it's an impala, there's more than enough to go around. If it's small enough, and I think if she's hungry, she will eat. And we have actually seen her. I think she caught a francolin, and I think she was actually quite thin at that stage. And she did actually snarl at the cubs once she caught the francolin, and she would say, "No, this is mine." So I think it will depend on the level of hunger that she's at, because obviously she's the breadwinner. She needs to still get the large kills. So she's needing the energy, and she needs it even more so than the cubs at this stage, because obviously if you're watching the hyena look. So yeah, if she's not able to go out and hunt, the cubs may or may not survive if she does die. But obviously she needs to make sure that she can still provide food for them at this stage, because they'll be able to hunt maybe small things, maybe birds that are on the ground, francolins, guinea fowl. She's probably taken them through that training. Quick, easy meal, as she's shown Misha and Duna in the past. So, yes, unfortunately it's another depends question. And good morning to you, Jeanette. Wanting to know if hyenas will bother the leopards if there's no kill. And we have seen hyenas getting very close to Misha and Duna when they're a lot older. And they don't seem to bother the leopards too much if there's no kill around. So this hyena seems to be busy just checking. Could be that it got brought in or responded to her calling. She was soaring quite a lot, quite loud. So that could be why. There is a hyena around here looking to see if there is a kill. The cubs are actually just in front of us now. We're being watched. There's the little girl. Look at this. Definitely Xivindzi fits this little girl. She is so inquisitive, so bold. And her brother actually takes a lot of boldness from her when he's on his own. He's not that bold. Tends to hide away. Ooh, a hyena's behind us, that's why. He's actually going to see what the hyena's up to. Don't go that way, come back. So even Karula's almost like saying, come back, come back. See her stands. Hi Dr. Rita, welcome on board. You might have misheard me saying that you thought I heard no, thought you heard me saying that Karula was getting angry. Here comes the little boy right next to the vehicle. Walking right down the side of the vehicle, look at that. I don't think you're actually going to be able to. Okay, just hiss at Becky apparently. But I'm not sure what I was talking about earlier. It's possibly that I was talking about she was looking for her cubs maybe, and that she was soaring. But you're saying if she is getting angry, what would she do? And she would snarl, and maybe even give it, sort of spit a little bit. And it's almost like a bark. Maybe even a deep rumbling, a growl. Just depends on the extent of her anger. Should we just see if we can maybe move back a little bit and just see what these cubs are doing with the hyena? Tail flicking as well is another indication that she's not happy. Oh, there's a big tree there. And just sitting with her ears back. But I don't think she wasn't bothered at all this morning. And even when we found them, they were playing around the vehicle. You might have to guide me if there's any little areas down. And that's the thing with Karula, as long as you treat her with respect, she's very, very relaxed. And I have heard that some guides think that she's quite an aggressive cat. But as long as you treat her right, she's fine. We've never had a problem with her. I say she'll walk quite happily down the side of the vehicle. And obviously she's passing on the fact that we're not a threat to them, to her cubs. I mean, just to have the little boy and the little girl walking down the side of the vehicle just now, and quite happy just to play centimetres from the vehicle. It shows that trust there. Standing by? Yeah, you can join us. No other station is responding at the moment. Either come in from the junction Glego shortcut and Voyatella access, or Glego shortcut itself. You might be able to see where the mover and consoles come in. I was hoping. So I was just hoping that maybe Yambilu was still around, but he might well be. I can't see him at the moment. But Susan was wanting to know something. That's the hyena calling. Let's watch the little girl. She's watching something. She's watching a fly. Susan wanting to know, when did Karula wean the cubs? At what age? And weaning usually occurs around 3 months, although sometimes it can go up to 6 or 7 months old. But I think the cubs were weaned pretty early actually. And I think that has a lot to do with the amount of prey available and maybe the success rate of the mother. Because if there's a lot of prey available and the mother hunts successfully, then she can afford to wean them at a very early age, whereas if she's not successful, there's not too much prey around, then it will be beneficial for her to keep feeding the cubs milk to supplement the times when they're actually not able, or she's not able to gain enough food to keep them going. Hi Cindy, over in New Jersey. How long will the cubs stay with Karula? You see this little girl, she really is quite a bold little female, and I think she's very similar to her mother in that regard. I think you're better off going around the other side, Graham. She's actually moving that way. And I would be surprised if she leaves Karula a lot earlier than maybe the little male. As I say, she is highly independent. We've seen her on her own a lot. She moved away from where Karula left them a lot. So I really wouldn't be surprised if she starts to move away and become independent fairly early. It can be anywhere between 1 year and 2 years old. It probably averages about 1.5 years. Maybe slightly older, say Mishin and Duna were close to 2 years when they became independent. And we watched for 2.5 hours while Karula was calling, and she was as loud as she could be. She was calling them and they were not responding, and that was the day I think they became independent. Oh, she's going up onto the log over there. Should we move again? Making that contact again. Hi, Sil. Good to hear on board. At some stage, we'd actually like to make our way over towards where the lion crew was, but we haven't seen Crew and the cubs for a little while, so it's nice just to spend a bit of time with them. And as I say, spending a bit of time and understanding their personalities is very special. Is he still there? Okay. No, he's just lying up on the termite mound there. He's just there. I don't think we'll be able to see him. I was hoping we might be able to just pull around the termite mound. But I don't want to get too close to him. So the fact that he's relaxed around the vehicle and trusting the vehicle, I don't want to push it and break that, especially with behaviour and building up that trust. It takes a long time. It's very slowly catchy monkey, but as soon as you do something wrong, that can break all of that. So we don't want to push him. But still wanting to know when do their rosettes start to develop, and they start to develop at a very early age, and you heard the saying, a leopard can't change its spots, but it's very true. Just as they get bigger, those rosettes just expand. So the pattern will always stay the same, it'll just look larger. See how she uses that tail for balance. Quite a long tail, and because they are a tree climbing cat, that's one of the reasons why they will have this extremely long tail for balance. Graham, did you see Yambilu leave? Jordaan leave? Oh, did he? So he left already. Sorry? Peter.
Both of that wasn't the
Because of the halves. Yeah, she's off. She's gone. Okay, I'm going to just see if we can sleepwalk because there's a little bit of grass he's hiding behind. And there's actually a little spot that I can maybe just pull my nose forward a little bit more. Let's see how he reacts. Right, yeah. I'm not going to be able to go too much further. Should we go around the other side? We're going around the other side. So I'm just going to move because there's quite an open spot around the other side, so we might be able to see him. Yep. Go ahead, Mark. Hi, Joy. Good morning to you. Welcome on board. Just say hello to Karula again quickly for anybody that's just joined us. Joy saying, isn't it unusual for fathers to mate with their offspring? And isn't that why they get relocated? Oh, here he comes. And won't it reduce the gene pool? And it can do. The first generation doesn't usually make too much of a difference if the father mates with the daughter. But obviously it's not desirable, and that's one of the reasons why leopards actually disperse. And we have seen with Mishu and Induna, Karula's second litter. Induna is still sticking around. He's very much a mummy's boy. And he always has been. Apparently, again, Mishu was a lot more independent than Induna was. And Karula seemed to interact a lot more with Induna than she did with Mishu. And I think the same can be said for, here comes the little boy. He's coming down the termite mound towards his mum again. So you can see he doesn't really go too far from Karula if she's around. But as I say, that little female goes. So it's usually that males will disperse out the area to avoid inbreeding. But Karula, when she stuck around in her mother's territory, I think this is part of Safari's territory at one stage. I think she actually took this area over. And the females don't seem to disperse as far as the males do. So it can happen, but as I say, there's such a high density of leopards in this area. We're actually seeing some unusual things come out of that. Whereas maybe further afield in Kalahari or other places, leopards tend to have a much larger territory on average anyway, and the overlap maybe wouldn't be as great. Prey density might not be as great as it is here in the Sabi Sands and Kruger. So the likelihood of leopards actually inbreeding obviously becomes less. But there's always new males coming through, and males, as they disperse, might displace other males. So Mafufanyan's getting quite old, and I think at some stage he might get dispersed. And obviously with Yambili coming in, he's dispersed or moved Mafufanyan out the area so he could actually then mate with Karula. And there might be another male that comes along and actually pushes Yambili out, and Mvula might be that male. So it's not a static thing. there is possibility that males will push other males out, and Mishu might actually go and push another male out of another area that maybe this is happening in another area, and he might go along and actually push another male out of that area and go and mate with the females that are actually in that area.
Now, if you only use the exit, if you only got to make sure step drive towards where the nuclear exit, and you only use the exit place instead of
Oh, okay. So also wanting to know about the relocation of animals. Now, it doesn't usually happen, Joy. It's not normal that animals get relocated in an area that's so large like the Greater Kruger National Park, which is what we are. We're 2.7 million hectares together with the Kruger. Sabi Sands itself is about 65,000 hectares, and that's one of the reasons why fences were dropped. The Sabi Sands are made up of individual properties. So the fences were dropped between them to actually allow the animals to disperse naturally. Whereas if you have quite a small area, that's when you have to start interfering and moving animals about to stop the inbreeding, because there's no natural movement of animals. Whereas here, there is a natural movement. So it is possible for leopards that are here in the Sabi Sands to actually disperse over into Kruger and vice versa. Oh, here comes hyena coming in. I spotted them. That's what's going on. Again, little female, Xivindzi, came right up to the hyena. Look at that. You say Xivindzi means bold. And you can see exactly why. And again, no food around. There's no reason for the hyena really to put its foot down. I think that answers the question earlier about what will happen. I'm going to just pull forward again into that little gap. I'll have to wait until the other vehicle comes in now. If you pull in somewhere where Graham is on his right-hand side, you should be able to see the non-pimpans. And they're just dead ahead of you. I'm not out this afternoon.
And then? Yeah, I'm waiting for you.
Ja, ik hoor het. Maar je hebt de zee, de mannen en de
I think we might have to make space.
Ja,
Hi, Gloria.
because I mean, but these things,
welcome on board. I want you to know when the cubs will be efficient to hunt. And they are already able to hunt. They'll be able to hunt small things at least. And it's really the size that will limit them on what they can hunt. I mean, they might even go for a steenbok at this size. It might be a little bit large for them, but you never know. Especially that little male, he's a little bit larger than the female. Although I think with the female's character, she would be more likely to try something like that. So it's just the size really that limits them, and that's why really a year and a half old, 2 years, that's when they'll start to move into the bigger antelope. They're still just a little bit too small at this stage. But Karula will go on providing for them as long as they're still around. And it seems to be up to the cubs to make their way in the world or to become independent. And still, I was just talking about the lions at Buffalo's Hook Dam that we were with in the timbers. I was wanting to try and make our way up there and just see if they are still around. We heard them calling last night. So it'd be nice to actually have a look and see how they're doing. But definitely a very special sighting here this morning with Karula, the two cubs and their father right at the beginning of drive, Yambilu Jordaan. And the cubs were playing around him. They were actually rubbing their tail underneath, and I don't know if we were actually live at that point. I think we were just going live. But I was absolutely amazed. Karula walked out in front of us, then one of the cubs, I'm not sure who it was, and then Yambilu popped out. Absolutely amazing.
And I mean, she died that night, but she died about a week later after the news. And it seems to be the case where the male that got out of the situation was 7 miles. I mean, this thing is blinding me quite. This thing is irritating. You leave it behind and promise you to fight stuff. Yeah, no. But they, I promise you, so they have
Ephraim, come in. Ephraim, come in.
I've been charged by them on foot. I'm not even exaggerating. From there to where we are now. And the only thing I can really remember of it.
I'm hearing claws in tree over there. Oh!
It's over like that.
So I'm trying to climb a ruler tree, so we'll go have a look. But I think we might have to make some space for another vehicle.